Hey, it's Caleb here at homeschool-curriculum.org. Do you ever get tired of what you're doing with your homeschooling, and maybe you just kind of get in the routine? You say, you know what, it's another week, we're going to pull out the same math thing, we're going to pull out the same grammar, the same reading, whatever you're working on, and sometimes you say, I want to change it up just a little bit. And that might be a time to take a break and change into a unit study. And I'm going to share a review of a unit study that we took a look at. It was in preparation for a trip we were taking to Washington, D.C. And I said, that's a perfect opportunity just to kind of change everything that we're doing right now, just to take a sideways slant at it. A unit study will incorporate a couple of different things. They're going to incorporate generally cross-topic areas. So you might see some math, you might see some writing, you might see some spelling, just different areas. And what I'm going to do right now is share a product review with you about a unit study product that you could check out for yourself. To start out, we went to Homeschool Complete, and this site is owned by Deborah Arbuthnot. She has had it for about 4 years now, and she's a teacher with over 20 years of experience in the classroom, also now turning into creating homeschooling products. What I really like about this site is we're going to get into some of the products, specifically the unit study in a second here, but if you look at the reviews, this is pretty impressive. In the review area, you'll see here a nice review from Kathy Duffy, who most people should know in the homeschooling world, from a homeschooling mom, and then other places we know, the Old Schoolhouse and the Schoolhouse Review Crew. There are, I think, around 25 different reviews as you scroll through here. 12, not 25, 12 different reviews as you scroll through here, but enough to make you feel really comfortable about the quality of products that you're purchasing. As I flip on over to the products, though, you can see there are lists here. She has all-inclusive year-long curriculum for kindergartners, first graders, and second grade age children, as well as the unit studies I talked about in the intro. In the unit studies area, we can scroll down. We'll see just around 12 different unit studies. I think that might be 11. My counting is way off right now. 11 different unit studies, and one I focused on was U.S. symbols for a very reasonable price of $11, just a little less than $11. As I mentioned, we got the U.S. Symbols unit study in preparation for a trip we were taking to Washington, D.C. I was looking for something where I could reinforce what the visit would go like, or what we were about to do in our visit, and I was really pleased with what we got. In fact, this is inside the actual unit study itself, and I want to highlight some of the areas that I like. One of the comments that Deborah made on page 7 of this unit study is that the goal of the complete unit study is not only to teach facts and figures, but higher level thinking and problem solving skills that create a love of learning. I couldn't agree more, because too often we get into facts and figures and numbers, but that really isn't what we're all about with homeschooling. We're about thinking larger and being able to put a bigger thought and a different perception or perspective on what's happening into place. And it's fantastic that she's done this. I'm going to flip forward to one of the pages the pages I've highlighted, and where I said unit studies will cover different subject areas. Deborah's worked really hard to make sure that her unit studies cover all subject areas. So here you see language arts in the skills list, and a list of the skills that she covers in this unit study: mathematics, and some of the skills that she covers in this subject area: social studies, where you even get to learn about some of America's symbols, which was the U.S. symbols portion of it; science, fine arts, some physical development and fitness, and even some character development and biblical principles. Now, for those of you who say, I don't want the biblical principles in my unit studies, don't worry. I mean, the way Deborah's put it, she's got something in there. I think it's actually a quote from Leviticus, and that quote is actually an inscription that's on the Liberty Bell. So if part of it, if you're going to study U.S. history, there is an aspect of it of understanding that there were some religious aspects or religious inputs here, and that's just part of this country's history. But it's very easy to gloss over. It's not force-fed to you. At the same point, if you want to make more of it and you want to dig in a little bit deeper about where that quote came from and why it was used on the Liberty Bell, it can be a fantastic way to have a great conversation there. Now, skipping ahead here, the unit study is divided into 4 different lessons. And this is an example of one lesson, lesson 1, where you see all the skills that she plans out. So you, as a homeschooling parent, teacher, facilitator, can say, okay, these are the things we're going to go through in this lesson. And in some cases, your child might know some of these skills, so you could easily gloss over them. In other cases, they may not know some of those skills, so you could highlight them right at the outset to say, you know what, we really are going to dig a little bit deeper in this area. And it's just such a nice break to kind of go across the learning that you might have done when you've been really kind of in your subject area and switching to another subject area to do. One of the areas that my son and I, we specifically covered, and this symbol was in preparation, of course, for our visit to Washington, D.C., was reading about our flag. And we enjoyed talking about that because we live in New England, and it's a great way to talk about the 13 original colonies, a great way to talk about what the stars resemble, the stars and the stripes on a flag, and really getting into some of the symbolism that is just embedded, embroidered, if you will, in our country's flag. Again, though, this is what I really like, is having a unit study to kind of break things up, looking at things from a different perspective and threading across the subject areas rather than going just narrow and in a lane in one subject area. And I think Deborah's done a fantastic job of it. So if you're really interested in the site, you go to Homeschool Complete. That's www.homeschoolcomplete.com, and you can see everything that you want to find there for really kindergartner through third grade curriculum for homeschoolers. That's it for today. Thanks a lot for listening.